just thought I would make a quick video here for all of you people. Hope you were able to catch my 2 latest jokes I uploaded from the new DVE, but I will have some old throwback DVE jokes on the way this week. I'm going to have to re-put everything on. Still didn't get to do that. And then the screen broke and I just got it fixed, so now I'm going to get that done now. It's like I'm bouncing from computer to computer making these things. So, but anyway, I don't know where to start today. I mean, because I'm going to recap the Steelers' victory. I guess first off, 2 serious notes, although one of them very serious, the other one just serious. First off, a hurricane is coming. If you live on the East Coast, especially New Jersey, Philly, Delaware, Maryland, Northern Virginia, maybe even parts of New York City, and obviously later on this week, upstate New York, like Syracuse. Anyone who comes across this and sees this, stay safe, stay indoors. If you can get out of there now. And go further west. It's going to be a serious storm, so you don't want to risk it. Stay safe, and like I said, hopefully everything turns out for the best there. This is another reason why I hate the Yankee Land Northeast, hate it to death. Like I said, I mean, I love the restaurants, sports, the city of Pittsburgh, but the part I hate about Pittsburgh so much is the weather. However, when it comes to Pittsburgh, I can say with certainty that the winds will probably be about 30 to 40 miles an hour. That is going to be a strong wind for sure. Damage, I would say, is probably going to be minimal with this storm. I just thought I would mention that. I don't think it's going to be severe in terms of damage. However, there could be 3 to 4 inches of rain. So if you do live in the Pittsburgh area, especially if you're in one of those river towns, you do want to be cautious of that. I would probably migrate inland. I would probably stay away and go to some shelter yourself, because the floods could be substantial with this storm. Hopefully it goes more quicker than not, but we don't know for sure. So I just thought I would let you all know about that. So like I said, be very careful. Again, Pittsburgh won't get the wind threat from this as much, although there will be still a wind threat here, just not as much as, say, Allentown, Philly, the Lehigh Valley, and parts of New Jersey, New York, and Maryland, but still, wind can be a problem. There will be some isolated damage. So if you don't see any uploads or any comments from me this week, you'll know why. Hopefully that will not happen, but just got to be better safe than sorry. Okay, so there you go. Now, also also another serious note, I am very sorry. I know a couple of Eagles fans who have subscribed to this channel. I guess want to hear some of my Pittsburgh sports rants. Well, I can say that I really thought the Eagles were going to pull this out today. I thought there was an upset coming, but the Falcons went in there and won. Like I said, I'm not going to comment because I didn't watch much of that game. I was watching the Steelers, but again, I thought that they were going to do it. I thought they were going to win this game, and they just didn't do it. There could be some major changes in store in Philly. We're talking about maybe benching Michael Vick, and then possibly later we're talking about the coach's job at stake too. So I just thought I would give you Yinzers the little update there, because I was commenting on a couple of Philly channels and said that the Phillies were going to pull the upset, and then they didn't. Sometimes I get stuff right and sometimes I don't. I just think that the Eagles just didn't look inspired to play today. So just so you know, Philly fans, that part probably isn't my fault, but okay, I didn't mean to crack a joke in this time, but again, yeah, I mean there could be some changes on the way. But now let's get to the Steelers. That's the part that everyone's most excited about, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Second week in a row, the Steelers make me happy, and this was a style win for sure. Mostly mistake-free, no turnovers. That is excellent. You got to keep that up. There were 2 penalties. That's it. 2 penalties. Very good considering we're the most penalized team in the league. They really cut back on penalties today for the most part. Really minor, except the punt return for a touchdown call back. That could be a problem in a tight game down the road, but since the Steelers were up by so much, that didn't matter as much today. And another, I think we had a false start penalty or something, or maybe we had a holding penalty or something. But for the most part, it was a very clean day by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very good victory by the Pittsburgh Steelers all around. Jonathan Dwyer, second straight week, 100 yards plus. Again, that is very, very good. Got to keep it going. And notice for the second straight week that the offensive line is opening up holes. And that's what it's going to take. The Steelers have got to open up some holes on the offensive line. They are doing that. I am excited for when DeCastro will come back. I would guess not for a very long time, maybe not even this year. There is a small chance that he might come back later, but if he comes back and is healthy, with this offensive line playing the way they are, I would say it's going to be a very solid year, or going to be a very solid team down the road, especially when it comes to running the football. I like the dink and dunk style a lot more. I know some aren't wild about it, like Mark Madden here in Pittsburgh, but I love the dink and dunk style personally. It is great. I think they should continue to keep that up and just go down the field little by little. Don't go for the home run, and you're gonna, and the numbers and the points are gonna show. The Steelers are playing good football these past 2 weeks, or shall we say these past 6 quarters. I'm not counting the first half of the Bengals game, which was pretty bad, but then the second half of that game and then all game this game, just a solid performance. Jonathan Dwyer, talked about him. Mike Wallace, much better catching the football. He was the only negative last week, but this week he was catching the football nicely. Heath Miller had a touchdown today. I like how they got the backup tight end and the fullback involved today with touchdown plays. What else is there? What else do I have to say? The defense. I thought this was going to be a shootout. It actually had the potential to be a shootout. There were a lot of drop passes by the Redskins, and I do think the Steelers need to shore up coverage this coming week. It is doable. I'll talk about that in a minute, but obviously the defense played good. Obviously when it counted to, and there were a couple of the drops by the Redskins were because the Steelers jarred the ball loose. So the secondary is playing a lot more aggressive, even though they still had a few holes today that were plugged up by drops by the Redskins. But I'll tell you what, much better performance. The run defense still concerns me a little bit. Last week they were pretty porous at times. This week again, there were some bright spots where they got them behind the line, but there were too many plays where the Redskins were getting 5-10 yards a pop running the football. They got to bring that down. Next week, Bradshaw is a good running back for the Giants, so got to have to cut back on that. You can't allow big plays in the running game when we pride ourselves on stopping the run. That's what the Steelers have done best since the 1970s when we became the franchise we are known to be now. You can't do that, but like I said, even for the most part, though, I can't complain too much about the defense, just a couple of heads up there. Okay, so like I said, excellent game there. Will Allen had some big plays. Didn't hear much from Mike Taylor today, so that's obviously good. He played, I think, pretty well. What else should I say? Like I said, also got to watch out for the option. Now that is a plus next week at New York. The Giants don't do much of this spread option format that RG3 did. We're going to see a lot less of that next week. So maybe we can do better stopping the run, but we can't keep allowing 5-10 yards running the football. That's a recipe for disaster, considering that's our strength. Our secondary is the weak spot of this team, but although they were playing much better the past 2 weeks. So like I said, very good there. Offensive line, like I said, much better. Ben Roethlisberger, mistake-free football. What else can I say? The Steelers just again showed that they were good, and also we have a milestone for you. This is the Steelers' 400th win as a franchise since the 1970 merger. The first team in franchise in the first team in the NFL to do that, to reach 400 wins. So congratulations to the Steelers. It was a style victory by all means. Everything looked good for the Steelers today except for one thing, and that was their jerseys. I would not use those again. I didn't like that too much. The Bumblebee jersey didn't work for me. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't really give a damn about fashion one way or the other. Like I said, the only fashion that counts in football is how you play on the field. But I know that those jerseys are going to be talked about for a while. They weren't. I mean, obviously they're going to be mocked, but. So I don't know if I'd use those again, but like I said, the only fashion that matters is obviously winning the football game. So that's what the Steelers did. Everything was good except for those jerseys, but like I said, I don't really give a damn about the jerseys. I just thought I would say that since this is a comedy channel for probably about 80% of the time. So yeah, just a little light note in this segment, but yeah, that's all I will say on that. Like I said, next week, the Giants did have a 23-0 lead against the Cowboys. They did win 29-24 after blowing a 23-0 lead. The thing I'm going to say about this game is there were things, especially in the second quarter and third quarter of that game that I seen from the Giants that I think the Steelers can exploit. Okay, I think, but first off, I think that the Giants do have the edge in this game. I think the Giants will. I am probably going to predict that the Giants are going to win this game, probably more so than not because we are on the road and we've had pretty bad luck on the road so far. That said, there are things that I think we can exploit. First off, the running game wasn't that good today. The Rob Ryan and the Cowboys shut that down. Also, their defense just played outstanding. If we can play good defensively, like we have been playing the last 6 quarters, I think we got a shot. Also, the Cowboys were getting a lot of chunks. Okay, the Cowboys had quite a bit of offense today. Tony Romo, who a lot of people make fun of, he had 400 yards passing. I think Roethlisberger can take advantage of that secondary, and if that offensive line continues to block solidly, then he will have time to pass, and we can run the football with Jonathan Dwyer. If we do those things, we got a shot. If we play Steeler football like we've played the past 6 quarters, then we got a shot. If we play the Steeler football that we've seen the first few games of the season, then the Giants are probably going to win. And the Giants still might win even if we stick to our game plan, because the Giants are a good team. They're the Super Bowl champions, and they're 6-2 now. So the Giants are going to be favored, and I do think they might win this game. But don't count the Steelers out, people. I think the Steelers can give them a run for their money if they stick to their plan. I am much happier these past 6 quarters with the performance by the Steelers, and as I said, you will be rewarded if you perform on the field. The Steelers did that. So yeah, if you're a Philly fan and want to respond to my early part today, feel free. If you're from the East Coast and are getting that storm, like I said, Godspeed to you. If you believe in God. If not, hope that luck is on your side. I will hope and pray for all of you. And also here in Pittsburgh, hopefully the storm doesn't creep more westward than we think. It shouldn't, though. If it stays its current path, it's going to mainly be a rain event with some higher wind gusts, which could knock down some trees and power lines, but most of the damage will be in central and eastern PA, but we can get damage here, so just be careful there. Otherwise, like I said, Steelers, feel free to comment on the Steelers football game this week, excuse me. 400 wins in franchise history, most since the merger. So 400th win since 1970 in the merger. So congratulations, Steelers. Another good day. I'm a very happy Steeler fan right now. If we keep playing like we're playing, we're going to be a good football team. We got to stick to this plan. We got to stick to this recipe and this formula. If we stick to it, good things are going to happen. If we don't, then and we play like we did in the first few games, then we're going to have a lot of problems. So just keep that in mind. If you're watching, from the Steelers organization, which I'm sure they're not, but if they are, just remember that. So good job for the Steelers today. Very good win. I am happy again. I have a smile on my face. Everything was good except the uniforms. So since that was probably the biggest problem the Steelers had, not much to complain about today. So congratulations to the Steelers for getting the big 400 since 1970. Hopefully we can add up more wins. Hopefully we'll get our 401st win. Probably not likely, but again, don't count us out. Don't count us out. So that is it for now. Like I said, be careful out there. If you live near the rivers, you might want to start taking precautions. Stay on higher ground, and don't try to drive in flooded roadways. We have seen this so many times. Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not even think about it. If you see water on the roadways, do not even try it. Okay, because that is what gets people stuck. Okay, and that is probably going to be the big threat with Sandy, with Hurricane Sandy here in Pittsburgh, is the flooding. So don't even try driving through flooded roadways, because it can burn you. Just so you know, I don't want anyone to die, or at least if you want to be the daredevil, at least I warned you first off, so I am not responsible for anything that happens to you. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, that's it, everyone. Went 17 minutes long. Take care this week, and I will have more later. Have a good one, everyone.